Phenom. The goat of all goats of the modern era. The Undertaker. Alright, what's up everybody? It is I, from the Undead Realm, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Wednesday evening video right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down there, you know where it is, in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. So, subscribe to all my channels, all the links are down below in the gobbledygook. Friend me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You can leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, now, and in the future, comment, but don't leave stupid comments. You get slapped in the fucking face and then sent to the Shadow Realm where Ozzy and Satan will laugh at you and then eat your soul. So don't do it. Go somewhere else for that shit. And if you don't like it, cry, bitch. That's that. Share the video all over the internet. Most importantly, tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, well, you're SOL. And I think we all know what that means by now. And if you don't know, ask somebody. And, that's pretty much it. If you don't know, either look it up or ask somebody, you lazy fuck. And that's that. So, once again, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and all that other good stuff. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab the tasty cold one. Just cherry Pepsi. And enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, well, go fuck yourself. And, get out of here. But you won't because you've got nothing else to do with your garbage fucking life. If you got something to do, then do it. Don't watch me, you got something to do. You know, go jerk off for all I care. Not to me, but some of you do, because that, you know, that's what you do. That's what you do for like the last few years. Just jerk off to me and think you're great. But you're not. You're just an insignificant piece of shit on YouTube. I might be the same thing as well, but I look good. So, it is what it is. So, smoke your doobies, drink your garbage, do your garbage live streams or videos, and I personally don't care. So, but thanks for the attention, assholes. And thanks for the views, assholes. And if you download it, still a view, dumb fucks. But I digress. Alright, enough about that. Bull funky! Alright, Wednesday evening, excuse me. May the 27th, 2026, as we're wrapping up this lovely month of May and beginning pretty much the end of the first half of The Price is Right. I mean the first half of the year, and then when July starts, we'll be hitting the second half of The Price is Right. I mean, I keep saying that. But it's the second half of 2026. So, we're pretty much about to hit the midway point of 2026. And we'll see what happens in the second half after that. But, hope you had a great day, everybody. Nice and toasty here in the Northeast, but it's going to cool down a little bit. But it's going to be a nice weekend, no rain, until, you know, the start of next week, the start of June. It's going to be a little bit of rain on and off. Not too bad. You know, late spring weather, which is great, and then hopefully by the time summer hits in 3 weeks from tomorrow, I believe, or Friday, hopefully it gets hot. I mean, red hot. But it is what it is. It's a little toasty today, but gonna cool off pretty much later tonight into tomorrow is gonna be like 70 degrees. So, not 70, but like 75 degrees. Not too bad. So, it's gonna cool down a little bit. And that's pretty much it. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on your Wednesday evening, we got 3 hours of Dynamite and Collision tonight. Another 3-hour show. Why? I don't know. We're coming off Double or Nothing, which I'll get to in a minute. But should be some interesting stuff. We got Hikaru Shida and Chris Cakelander Philly Street Fight tonight. We're going to hear from the new AEW World Champion. That's Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker. We got that. What else we have? We got some Owen Hart tournament matches tonight. Should be interesting. And a whole lot more on your 3 hour, or 3+ hour cure for insomnia, and that's AEW Dynamite and Collision tonight. So, better bring the coffee. Or something to keep you awake for 3 hours. But it is what it is. Alright, we got that coming up at the top of the hour. But right now, everything I'm going to tell you right now is going to be said right now. But what happened and then, Peter? You missed it, you buck! Damn! But Peter, what will it be now? Okay, it'll be now soon. Now, Kagito, take it easy, shut up! That's that. Alright. But right now, ladies and gentlemen... Oh, by the way, big news today. Holy shit, I saw this on X. That, the whole thing with TKO might be going bye-bye! From what I heard, that, there's gonna be a trial, and Vince McMahon's name is in it, Paul Levesque, Hunter is in it, Stephanie's in it, Nick Catman is in it. Mm-hmm. There's some rumblings on, in the world of professional wrestling about TKO, and, I think some of that, so, those names I mentioned might have did a naughty thing with the merger. And deleting emails from Signal, or whatever that stupid thing is, I read. So, naughty, 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 WWE! So, I don't know what's gonna happen, but it looks like it's going to trial. So, this looks really bad for WWE right now, and this merger between TKO and WWE may be over soon. I mean, take that with a grain of salt, but look it up. If you think I'm telling lies, look it up. Go on Ringside News, it's there. So, but yeah, crazy stuff today in the world of professional wrestling with this TKO merger business. Crazy. But we'll get into that. Maybe I might do a video about it later, but I mean, maybe if there's some updates to the story, but not looking good for WWE so far. But that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to Dynamite and Collision tonight, let's go back to Sunday night, and it's time for your official late and out-of-date AEW Double or Nothing 2026 review! For this past Sunday, May the 24th, 2026, and we are emanating from Louis Armstrong Stadium, Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens, New York City. On the outskirts of my area. A little ways away, less like an hour away. About a half, well, with traffic it's like an hour and a half. But without traffic, by car it's like about an hour and change maybe. If you use the actual good route. Because there's a lot of good routes you can use. If you're in New York, you have to use the Van Wyck to the Grand Central. Good luck with that. Or you can be smart and use the the BQE and go all the way around. Going through the LIE into Citi Field. That's how I used to go when Shea Stadium was around. Used to take a different route. So I don't have to get on the Van Wyck, which is always packed. Especially during doing a Met game and the Grand Central and the LIE, because they merge into the Grand Central. It's just a pain in the ass to get a good parking spot. But, me and my dad, when we used to go to Shea Stadium for Met games, we were smart. We parked across the street, and we got there early. I mean, early. For batting practice, basically. And then we parked right near the gate to get in. If you remember Shea Stadium from, across the street. Under the, you got the trestle, you got the 7 train, and then you got this big area, which was a parking lot. right near the tennis center. You park near the gate, you are guaranteed to get out of there pretty quick. Sometimes. But, you know, that was our thing back in the day. That was a little trick. Get in, get out, get home. Go to sleep. You know? But nowadays, nowadays getting into Citi Field is an adventure. By car, you're paying $50 to get in. You take the 7 train. Good luck getting home. I mean, seriously, good luck. And there was a lot of issues I heard with people getting home from Double or Nothing because the 7 train wasn't running that much. Because it was like 12:45, 1 o'clock. People were getting on the train. I'm not talking about a Met game. You know, Met games end around 10 if it doesn't go to extra innings. Like 9:30, 10 o'clock. You go outside, you could get on the train it takes about 4 or 5 trains, you know, like 40,000 people coming off the train, or getting on the train. It's insane. And then, you know, the trains are diverted, especially on a holiday weekend, or a weekend, or even a weekday. It's insane. It's insane. I went to a game with Rosa back in 2015, I think it was 14 or 15. And then, you know, Mets beat the Cubs, because I went, it was a Mets-Cubs game. And then Boyz II Men was right after that. I didn't know that. We didn't know that. So we stayed for the Boyz II Men concert. That didn't end, I think, until 10 or 11, I think. And then, you know, we had to go back on the train. It was packed, because everybody's, you know, stayed for the concert. Took 2 or 3 trains. We got on, packed as sardines. got off at Times Square, and then we got the train basically to come back to Casa del Joseph. We didn't get back because we had to take an Uber back, because we had to take the train to a different stop, then take a cab home, basically, like a $15 cab ride with Uber, basically. And then we didn't get home, I think it was till like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. No, fortunately, I didn't have work the next day, so I was like, fuck that, you know. But it's insane. It's annoying. It's hard to get home from. You know, I went with my ex back in 2007, the day before my graduation from college, and you know, I went to the game, went to extra innings, and Delgado won the game. On 2 walks by Armando Benitez, and then Delgado hit a 2-on missile shot. We're going crazy. We get out of the Shea Stadium, go right down to the 7 train. It was packed. One train gone. 2 trains packed. 3 trains packed. 4 trains. We snuck in somehow. I was lucky to get you know, my ex-girlfriend a seat. You know, and then we filmed the actual first episode, one of the first episodes of TTM TV, back before it became the Gilmore Chronicles and all that shit. It was packed. And then we get off at 42nd Street, go all the way down, you know, down into Brooklyn. And at the time, I didn't have to take an Uber to Casa del Joseph because I was living with my parents way back in the day. So, by the time we got home, it was like, maybe around 1, I think it was around 1 o'clock. And then, you know, I had to go home, go to bed, and then get up next day. I had to get up and go to my graduation. I was like, shit. I was like, I'm not getting up. And it was hot the next day. It was hot. And I'm sitting there, you know, at Brooklyn College and everything. I'm freaking, like, dying. Sitting there with my cap and gown, like 95 degrees in the shade, and I'm freaking dying. I'm freaking like texting my ex, like my girlfriend at the time, like, yo, I gotta get out of here. Like, come meet me by, you know, whatever. He's like, where are you sitting? I'll meet you. I got out of my seat. I'm like, fuck this, you know. And then later on, I found out there was, you know, people started giving out water. I took a water and drinking it and shit. It was annoying. And then I went to, you know, the radio station to get just cool off. Actually, I wanted to go to the radio station. I didn't. I just wanted to go home. So basically, I met my mom and dad, my girlfriend at the time. We basically left the graduation ceremony because I'm not gonna stay for the whole thing and listen to Marty Markowitz for 5 hours. Fuck that, you know. If you know Marty Markowitz in Brooklyn, you know. But it is what it is. I went to get something to eat, and then I went home. I went back to sleep because I was done. Done. And a couple days later, I moved. Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, that was in May, and then it was in May. I didn't, yeah. It was in late May. It was in late May, 2007, and then that was it. And then I'm not gonna go through everything. Okay, but it was a pain in the ass if you know getting home from Louis Armstrong Stadium or the Tennis Center or Citi Field. It is annoying. So I mean, get home at your own risk on the 7 train. But anyway, move on. Alright, let's get to this review. Let's waste any more time I wasted. 16 and a half minutes. Crazy about old stuff. Which you clipped, and I don't give a shit. That rhymes. But I guess. Alright. AEW Double or Nothing this past Sunday night. Wow. What an amazing pay-per-view from top to bottom. Except for the pre-show, because nobody cares about that. But we are emanating from Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens, New York City. Our commentary team, the man behind the mask, Excalibur, my good buddy and yours, Tony Baloney Schiavone, or Tony Baloney Schiavone, for you people of Jericho. And the man from jolly old England, love, my good buddy, Nigel McGuinness, me love. He loves those Guinnesses. But it is what it is. Alright, let's get into it. It's not put any time. I'm gonna just run down the kickoff show. Non-title 5-minute time limit match. We had the champs, the women's champions, the Megasis, Megan Bayne and Lena Cross. They took on my girl Zeta Steele and Viva Van, and they won with 14. Actually, the champs won. Megan Bayne and Lena Cross won with Divine Intervention, pinning Zeta Steele with 14 seconds left. I think that's the closest anybody has come so far in this little 5-minute time limit challenge. So, I don't know what's going to happen with Viva Van and Zeta if they get another shot. Obviously, they can't, but, you know, they took the champs to the limit. Whether it be on purpose or just an off night for the champs. But, we got that. And then, after the match, Megan Bayne lays out Christopher Daniels, gives Viva Van Divine Intervention of her own, and then TJ, Anna Jay, and Ty Mello, or Ty J, so they come out with weapons for the save. So it looks like TJ is going to get a shot, probably a 5-minute time limit shot, or they're going to get a title shot. I don't know. So Anna Jay, the woman with a fat ass and a mean attitude, and, you know, Sammy Guevara's wife, one hot piece of ash, that's Ty Mello, probably getting a women's tag team title shot soon. So, not that many women's tag teams in AEW or Ring of Honor. So, we got that. Alright, second match on the pre-show, we had the Ops against the Death Riders, William Yuta, Claudio, Danny Garcia, and, so it's William Yuta, Claudio, Danny Garcia. I'm missing somebody. I'm missing some. Yeah, I think it was a 6-man tag instead of an 8-man. Yeah, 6-man. Okay, so that's right. Anyway, Faceplant puts Anthony Bowens out, and they're running Tiger! Uppercut by Claudio. 1, 2, 3. The Death Riders get the win over the Ops. And that's that. And then the final match on the pre-show, Boom and Doom of QT Marshall Knott and Big Boom AJ, the Costco guy, with the Rizzler and Big Justice at ringside, along with Holly Cameron. They take on Shane Taylor Promotions of Shane Taylor, the Infantry, Carly Bravo, and Captain Sean Dean, and the Ring of Honor Pure Champion Lee Moriarty. They had Trish Adora and Christiane XO at ringside. This was a stupid match. It was dumb. So the good guys get the win. I mean, there was some stupidity with the Rizzler trying to go after Christiane XO, who had a skirt. Like, forget it. I mean, you can see up her woo-ha. But little stupid fucking 15-year-old kid trying to get with Christiane XO. I mean, like, seriously? Have you seen your penis lately, you fat fuck? And then you got Big Justice, another fat fuck. Big, those stupid fucking kids think they're bigger than Roman? Ha ha! Right. Go make some cookies. Go eat some more cookies, you fat fucks. What's the point of having them there? They're just dumb. God, if I was sitting ringside, I'm like, what are you doing here? You're boring. And they start yelling at me. It's like, don't you fucking dare say that you're better than Roman Reigns when you're not. Back to Costco, you fucks. Stupid fucking kids thinking you can get Christiane XO or freaking Harley Cameron. Ha ha! Right. They're like bigger guys with bigger dicks. Just saying. Moving on. Alright, after the match, Eddie Kingston, the Funky Monkey Ortiz, and the Mancer, Mance Warner come in, chase off Shane Taylor Promotions, who they've been going after in Ring of Honor for the 6-man tag team titles. Well, actually, they don't have them anymore, but they've been going at them when they had the tag team titles. Now they don't, because the Outrunners and the Peacock, Dalton Castle has them, so see what happens with that. Alright, then Mick Foley makes his AEW debut. Now he's actually formerly All Elite. He's now in All Elite Wrestling. They have about the main event of MJF and Darby Allin. So MJF comes in. I'm like, figures, Max will come in. Mox the New York Knicks. Ha congrats to them. Goes to the finals, I hope. And their run is going to run out. No more gas in the tank after Oklahoma City gets through with you. They play tonight. They play tonight, Game 6 of the NBA, of the Western Conference Finals. Hopefully OKC does not go to 7. Because that'll be, I think, on Friday night. And the finals start, I think, on Monday or Tuesday. Not in New York. I think Game 1 is going to be in either Oklahoma City or San Antonio. You know the Knicks want San Antonio because they beat them for the NBA Cup. They get Oklahoma City, that's going to be totally different. Because Oklahoma City, even if they're tired, they can beat the New York Knicks. Because the Knicks are going to be, they got the time off. They got 2 days off right now. They're salivating right now, like, let's have OKC or San Antonio. Ah. They're going to beat San Antonio by 39 points. Tell you that much. Or OKC on a bad night. I think OKC or San Antonio is going to win in at least 6 games. At least 6. If not 5. I think the New York Knicks run is going to go bye-bye. If they win the title, I mean, good for them. I don't care. I personally don't give a fuck. And douchebag Mamdani, the actual good thing, he's like, we don't have money for a parade. Right, you don't have money. You know why you don't have money? Because you're taking all the money. You're taking all the money from the from the hard-working people in New York, paying $3,000 for rent because of you and that bitch Hochul. Nobody wants to live in New York and pay $3,000 for a studio apartment or an apartment building in Midtown Manhattan. Are you nuts? Oh, we're building affordable housing. Yeah, right. How much is that? an arm and a leg, or 3 arms and a leg. Can't pay for that shit. Get them out, please. And then everybody's leaving New York to go to Florida, even though that's, an arm and a leg too. But at least, it's better than staying in New York. I hate living in New York myself. I want to leave. I'm going to leave pretty soon. I don't know how long, maybe another couple years maybe. At least, I'd say 2 to maybe 3, 4 years. I want to get out of here. I hate it here in New York City. I hate it. I mean, even though I live in a nice neighborhood in Brooklyn, not the shit end of Brooklyn, you fucking pricks. There's not that much crime here. Not that much crime. I mean, yeah, certain times I get a notification, there's a crime, there's a freaking crime near the mall. What's the mall, basically? It's in Flatbush. I live in a different part of Brooklyn. A nice part, safe part of Brooklyn. Not that much, I barely see the police, the cops come down the avenue here. Barely. And sometimes I don't even see a fire truck. There's a fire station this way, and there's a fire station at the end of the freaking avenue. I barely hear it. It's a nice neighborhood, lots of bars, basically. I go to the bars every once in a while. Not to drink, just to have fun. It's a nice neighborhood. You can hear a pin drop. My neighbors are all nice. I know them for, basically 15, 16 years now. So, I have no problems with any of my neighbors. They know me. They knew my grandfather who used to have this house before he gave it to my mom, basically gave it to me and my mom. And now I own the house. I've owned it for the last 5 years. You can't prove that either, and if you did, it doesn't matter. I have the deed. My name is on the deed now. I'm not showing you, so go fuck yourself. Alright, that's that. Alright, so Max comes out, mocks the Knicks and Darby, before saying Foley would always lose when the chips are down. Foley thanks MJ for letting him have the moment one last time, and agrees that yes, I did lose a lot of matches. Granted, I did beat The Rock a couple of times. But he's like, I beat him, but none of those losses were in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Ooh. And that set Max off. And they're going back and forth. And then eventually, Max kicks Mick Foley in the nuts. And then Foley talks about how he inspired Darby's career and how he saw Darby at a small house show and knew there was some potential there. And he says he wants Darby to win one for the weird ones. And to quote one of his good friends, BANG! So I'm like, yup, Foley's going to get involved in the main event. And probably cost Max the title. We're going to see Max shade bald. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Alright, after that, 21-ish minutes of wrestling and a big promo in 1 hour, that's pretty damn good. Let's keep that up, Tony Khan. We don't want to bleed into the fucking pay-per-view anymore. But that's that. Alright, we start the show off properly with match number 1 on I think we had 12 matches. Total of 12 matches. I think we had 8 matches on the main show. 8 or 9. Anyway, match number 1 for the AEW Men's Tag Team titles. We had Edge and Christian, or Threshold and Cage, taking on FTR, Daxiax Harwood, and Cash. He's got a clock Wheeler in a New York Street Fight / I Quit match. And if FTR wins, Edge and Christian are done as a tag team. This was epic. Barbed wire was used, even though the New York State Athletic Commission said no blood. Right. there was blood. But it was at the end of the match, at the end of the night, when Darby jumped off the scaffolding of the stage, threw a table on Max, cut the back of his head wide open. All he saw was gushing blood. And with the commissioner was like, man, can't do that. That's not good, Tony Khan. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Yay. Yay, Juan Soto just hit a home run. Big whoop! Mets are winning 1-0 over the Reds, but they lost that series. They lost, if they win, they lost 2 or 3 to the Reds. Now they got the Marlins coming in this weekend, who swept them in Miami. And there's so many games behind second place now. It's like, I think they're 5 or 6 games back of second. It's not even June 1st, guys! Can we get a repeat of 2024? I mean, last night was SpongeBob night. Yeah, the guy that does Patrick's voice. Hey, SpongeBob! I'm like, oh great, that's gonna kick the Mets into gear like freaking Grimace did in 2024, and the Mets went 70 and 20 something. And then they made the playoffs, beat the Brewers in 3 games in that epic series, beat the Phillies in 4 games, and then ran out of gas against the NWO Dodgers. Can we see it again? I doubt it. With this team, I doubt that. Even if Frankie Lindor is on the way back, I think he's not coming back till after the All-Star break. But Alvarez probably won't be back till who knows. The pitching staff is just it's like a minor league team. McLean's just pitching like crap right now. Peterson should get off my team. They started Braziman tonight, and then Jonah Tong's gonna clean up tonight. Good luck with that. Senga hurt again. What else is new? What else is new with Senga? And he doesn't want to leave. We can't get rid of this fuck. Clay Holmes hurt for a few more months. Clay Holmes is gone. Peralta sucks. The Mets are a minor league pitching team. They're a minor league team, like the Cyclones right now, who are really bad. And you thought the Mets were bad? Look at the Cyclones right now. They're like 20 games under 500, and they won the title last year. The South title at single A. Not looking so good this year. I don't even think they're going to even make the first half playoffs. So maybe the second half for the Cyclones could be better. Maybe they can make a big run for the playoffs. I don't know, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, the Mets and the Cyclones not doing so good. And the only good thing in New York, you got the Knicks. That's it. Yankees ain't doing that good either, even though I think they won. They won last night because look at that playing Kansas City. Ugh. Kansas City's garbage. The Royals haven't won anything meaningful since they beat the Mets in 2015. That's it. After that, the Royals continue to start sucking again. Alright, moving on. So barbed wire was used. Fire was used. Oh. I mean, Beth fucking Phoenix comes back. Now her name is Beth. Oh, we're not using last names anymore? What is this, WWE? We're not using first names anymore? His name is Castagnoli. Oh no, we're calling him Cesaro. I'm not calling him Antonio Cesaro anymore. It's just Cesaro. So, Beth fucking Phoenix comes out, goes right after Stokely Hathaway. Crazy stuff. There was a spot where they had a cinder block. They put Christian's broken wrist, I think it was a broken wrist in there, and freaking, I think it was Cash Wheeler. It's like, bam, bam, bam! And then asking Christian if he wants to quit, and he's like, I banged your mother! I was like, oh shit, damn. And then another chair shot broke the cinder block. I was like, damn. it was insane. And then, like I said, Beth Phoenix comes out. Table was on the outside. They're looking to put Beth Phoenix through the flaming table, but Cash Wheeler, forgot his Glock and missed Beth and spears Stokely Hathaway through the fire, through the flaming table. Somebody call Agent Mick Foley from WrestleMania 20, I forget what number that was, 23, 25, I forget. And then Beth gets up, save her husband from a concerto, 6 months off a power driver, mind you. And then she got thrown into the ring steps like a minute before the flaming table spot. And then Edge hits a pile driver. Christian gets a sharpshooter. And then they get Spike, the nail, the nails, the 2x4 nails that Abyss used to use. Janice, now it's called Spike. And Edge adds in the grindhouse and grinding those nails into Dax Harwood's bald fucking head. And he's like, I quit! So, 19.5-minute match, great match. New tag team champions. We're gonna get a 5-second pose tonight for those with flash photography. So we're gonna get that tonight. I think FTR are gonna come out all banged up. Stokely's gonna come out like a burnt piece of chicken from KFC. Or it could be burnt jerk chicken. Not barbecue chicken, but jerk chicken if you're Jamaican. I see if you go to New York, there's like a fucking jerk chicken cart almost everywhere. I mean even when I was working for food delivery back in the day, and as a side hustle, I would be on 14th Street near Union Square, and I'm walking up to 23rd Street to Washington Square Park, and I could just smell. I could smell the smoke, and I look up to my right, and there's a fucking jerk chicken fucking truck. I'm like, shit. Not that I eat it, but they smoked the fuck out of the chicken. If you like jerk chicken, go get some. But I like my chicken tenders. I like my chicken tendies. So, we got that. Alright, so new tag team champions, Edge and Christian. We'll see what happens tonight. Moving on. Alright, match number 2 for the Intercontinental title. We had, the Battle of the Legends in Japan. We have the Intercontinental Champion, Kazuchika Okada, takes on the New Japan Pro Wrestling TV Champion, Kensuke Takeshita. Not for the New Japan TV title, obviously. But the fans love this match. Great match. Don Callis at ringside. We get to the end. Okada DDTs Takeshita on the floor. Goes to the tombstone. Don Callis like, no, don't do it on the floor. And then a Blue Thunder Bomb in the ring sets up the running Busaiku knee, which gets countered into a Rainmaker attempt, which gets countered into a Fruit Roller for a near fall, so that was a good sequence. Then Okada hits the Rainmaker, but he's holding his arm, and then Takeshita hits his own version of the Rainmaker. Then the running Busaiku knee gets a 1 count, because, Okada don't sell for shit. And then Takeshita's like, okay, I killed this guy, picks him up, Raging Fire! 1, 2, 3, we have a new Intercontinental Champion, like I predicted months ago. So, 2 titles change in the first pretty much half hour of the show. So, Takeshita is the new Intercontinental Champion. We'll see what happens tonight with him. But, man, this was a great match. And then afterwards, Kyle Fletcher, the Porno Star, he comes out, and he's been out with a leg injury. And they were thinking he's going to get surgery, but he didn't need surgery. He comes out to congratulate, his partner in the Don Callis family, Protoshita, whatever. And then, what does he do? He turns on Takeshita, kicks him in the balls, gets a bling buster, And then Okada hands Fletcher the belt. Not that he earned it. And Takeshita's knocked out. So it looks like we're going to get Takeshita versus Kyle Fletcher for the Intercontinental belt. I mean, that should be good, but, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. So, no more Proto Shida. It looks like now we got Proto Okada. So, one less member of the Don Callis family. Joy. Great. We move on with that. Alright, match number 3. The start of the Women's Owen Hart Cup. First round match. We have my fourth amazingly hot Asian wife, Mina Shirakawa, takes on the Ring of Honor Forever champion, Athena. She's climbing up there. She's getting close to 1,275 days as champ. Hasn't hit it yet, but she probably hit it by the weekend or the beginning of June. She'll probably hit 1,300 by July 4th. It's crazy. But anyway, this was a good match. Mina did all she could. Put Athena in the figure 4. Got broken up. Athena sweeps the leg down your son. Middle rope O-face got broken up. Mina's seatbelt driver gets a near fall. Gets the figure 4 on this time, sending Athena over to the ropes for a rope break. And then Athena pretty much finished off Mina with a pump handle slam into a tombstone. Damn. Then the O-face finishes off Mina in under 11 minutes, so Athena gets the win. She goes on to the semifinals to face who knows who. And that's pretty much it. Moving on. Great match there. Alright, there we see the conglomeration. Basically, Orange Cassidy, the gimmick stealer. And Roddy gets strong, giving Kyle O'Reilly Auto Parts a pep talk before our fourth match of the night. The Continental Breakfast of Champions title, the Denny's IHOP title, I call it. No time limit against Jon Moxley. This was great. Great match. Back and forth. We're getting to the end. Moxley clotheslines Kyle into the Death Rider, into the Bulldog Choke, but Kyle reversed that into the ankle lock. He grapevine the leg. That goes reversed into a grapevine ankle lock by Mox. Interesting. And Kyle tapped out. I was like, wow. I thought Kyle was going to win a title. I really thought that Kyle was going to win. And I went 8-1 in my predictions, by the way. This was the only loss. Everything else was pretty much predictable. So Mox wins, keeps the Continental Denny's IHOP title. See what happens with that. But even Mox, he congratulated, the Death Riders come out and congratulate him. They congratulated Kyle. So no, chicanery after. Big old handshake between Mox and Kyle. Friendship, yay! Or was it? I guess we'll have to find out later. Alright, match number 5. Go to the men's side of the Owen Hart tournament. Samoa Joe takes on Will Oceansway. Reach for the sky. Whoa! Bam! This was a pretty good match. Oceansway hooks up brother and starts beating away at Joe. Hits the Styles Clash and the fans went completely berserk. Hits that for a near fall. Goes for the Hidden Blade. Hits that for another near fall. Then he goes for a second Hidden Blade that gets cut off with that quick power slam, vintage Samoa Joe. Goes for the Kikina Clutch, gets countered, but Joe plants him down and then locks it in. And then we get the ref. 1, 2, and on the third arm drop, Oceansway grabs the rope. I don't know how. So, got out of that. And then Joe goes for the Muscle Buster. Actually, I think he hit it during the match, or tried for it during the match. Couldn't get it. He tries for it again near the end. It gets counted into a quick Hidden Blade for a 1 count, because, Joe doesn't sell. And then another quick one. 1, 2, 3, Will Oceansway gets the win. He moves on to the semifinals. See who he faces. And that's that under 14-minute match. Well, great match. And that's that. Afterwards, Joe shows some respect. Hey, we got Code of Honor City. Last match with Kyle and Mox. Now Joe and Oceansway. We get that. Alright, match number 6, another first round match. Bandito ese pero, the Ring of Honor champion, takes on Swerve Strickland with my good buddy from New York. He's from Brooklyn too. My good buddy Prince Nana. Please, please, for the love of God, buy his coffee. It is amazing. I had a cup this morning with Rosa. Rosa loves that. She adores it. I gotta buy more though. Yeah, I know. I gotta buy it. Can we have some later? Yeah, okay. Put a fresh pot on later. Yeah, we gotta have a nice fresh pot of coffee later. After watching Dynamite and Collision, we're gonna need some. Shit. Anyway, this was another good match. Getting to the end, Bandito tries a code red, but backflips into a Hurricanrana. That was nice. He goes for the 21 plex. That gets reversed into the Vertebreaker, or the Nightmare on Helm Street. Bandito was knocked the fuck out. And to make it worse, Swerve finishes him off with the house call. And Swerve goes on to the semifinals in an epic match. A little over 15-minute match. This pay-per-view was just unbelievable. With the, there was a moment where it was just but we're just right here. Match number 7, I believe it's match number 7. Yeah, 7. Match number 7 for the women's title. We had Declaw defending against Hikaru Shida, Chris Cakelander, and Jamie Hayter. This match was just the cool-down match of the night, basically. I didn't even like it. I was like, ugh. But in the end, Shida tries to grab Jamie Hayter's leg. Cakelander cuts that off quickly. Hits Saturday Night Fever on Jamie Hayter, but Shida comes in with a kendo stick, no DQ because a fatal 4-way match, for the save, and then Declaw knocks Shida to the outside, hits the stomp on Chris Cakelander to retain the title in 14 minutes. It was a good match, but not as great as the last match. So, Declaw retains, and then, like I said, we get Shida versus Cakelander with the, if you watch the after show, we got promos from Shida and Cakelander. We got a Philly street fight in Philly, the birthplace of Extreme. But we're not at the corner with Swanson and Rittner tonight. I don't think we are. I don't even know they're at the 2300 arena. There's some another arena in Philly. I hope it's a 2300 arena, but I don't think they can go there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they're going to be there tonight at the ECW arena. It's not the ECW arena, but it's the 2300 arena, which is basically like the same thing. You get that. Alright, then we end match number 8, Stadium Stampede between Team Jericho of Jericho, the Bucks, or the Elite, the Bucks, and Jack Perry, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley of the Hurt Syndicate, who hurt people. I like their promo, Set to Devil's Dance by Metallica from Reload. You're a good man, Jericho. So they take on the Don Callis family, Andrade, Mark Davis, Ricochet, and the Gates of Agony, Bishop Quan, and Toa Leona, Clark Connors, and David Finlay of the War Dogs. This was wild. They go everywhere. There's a point where Andrade, he went outside, did his little, selfie thing with 2 hot chicks. But then we see Luchasaurus dressed up as a fucking chick. That was crazy. And then Jack Perry smacked Mark Davis in the face. I thought it was flour, where we found out it was the dirt from the vacuum cleaner. And then we're watching it. I'm watching it, and I'm going on Twitter. I'm like, was that fucking Tony Khan's large stack of cocaine? Holy shit. So, we're about ready to go with Dynamite's coming up in about a minute and a half, so got that. That was crazy. They go to the outside the stadium. Ricochet and Jericho in the back. They're beating each other up. Jericho opens the door. Luther's there. I'm like, what the fuck is Luther doing here? He has a big ass, mutated tennis racket. And then Jericho's like banging, hitting him in the head with it, hitting him with tennis balls. They're in the ring as well. I mean, it's crazy. And then Jack Perry almost, like, legit killed Mark Davis with his bus. And Mark Davis was busted wide open because he had, like, a big old bandage around his head. Like, during the match, they took him out because it was busted wide open. The New York State Athletic Commission was like, no, can't do that. So, that was that. And then there was a point where Leo Rush was shown. Like, they're fighting up the aisle. Leo Rush pops in, freaks Lashley out. And then he jumps on totally on his back. They go through the back door somewhere. This was wild. But getting to the end, let's get into the end. I don't want to talk about everything. I mean, this match was long. 31 minutes. We did not get any music for this. I'm like, where is the music, Kenny Omega? So, Kenny V-triggers Andrade. Shelton suplexes Bishop Quan through a table. And then Kenny one-winged Angel Andrade off the apron through the table. Shit. Ricochet's left all by himself. Oh, and everybody is killing him with finishers. Bishop Quan eventually makes the save, but that earned himself a septuple, 7-man super kick. Damn. And then Jericho finishes off Ricochet with the Lion Salt, and Team Jericho get the win. And that's pretty much it. Match was just crazy. And then after the match, the Hurt Syndicate joined Jericho for the big old thumbs up, because MVP was there as well. Jericho puts himself through a table anyway, in a tribute to Sabu. Did you like that one, Sabu? Eh. He can't talk, he's a... Alright, so AEW is live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We're not at the 2300 Arena, we're in someplace. So we're going to Forbidden Door, that's our next stop. Alright, so we got matches tonight. Claudio versus Brody King and Mark Davis and Jack Perry. The winner of that faces Swerve and faces Will Ospreay in the semifinals, which I think is coming up next week or another week or two. We got the women's side. Tonight we got the wild card taking on Alex Windsor. You know that's Mercedes Moné. And then we got Saray. I don't know if I'm going to talk about the women's thing. I haven't shown it, but we have that. Alright, now we're going to Renee Paquette with Ocean Spray after the pay-per-view, obviously. So, Ocean Spray beat Samoa Joe, so he's going to take on Claudio Castagnoli or Brody King. So that's that. And now he goes into the trainer's room. He sees Kenny with an ice pack on his neck. And then he puts Kenny's, I want to use that. I want to use that. So, Kenny's talking about, he's, Ocean's like, I'm buzzing, I'm going for the second round. I'll play a little bit of it. If I get copyright, I don't care.
I mean, I'm no stranger to Death Riders. They've been here since day one. And, my worry is that you can't trust those guys. What they do, they say they will do. When they wanted to hurt me, they hurt me. When they said they're going to break your neck, what did they do? Well, they broke your neck. And then you come back from a career-threatening injury. You had me by your side. I would do anything for you, Will. For you to realize you're truly being champion, there's nothing I wouldn't do. Why didn't you ask for me? Why didn't you? It would have been so easy for me to help you, Will.
For sure, it would have been if you showed up. Mate, with all due respect, you're not here.
Well, I can't be here every week, Will.
Why not? This is the best that Kenny Omega's ever felt for a while, so why are you here, man?
That's a good question.
I lost my chance, and I have my own way of going about things. Okay? I just can't bounce back the way that I used to.
You're old, that's why.
It's a mental thing.
Kenny's old.
It's not, it's more than what you think it is. I'm the same guy that I once was. You're not the same guy that you once were. But if we stick together, we can do crazy things. We can do amazing things.
I'd love to see Ocean Spray and Kenny one more time.
I get the appeal to the Death Riders. They're serious. They mean business.
Maybe at Redemption, you get that.
So I'm not saying don't trust them. What I'm saying is be careful as a friend.
Oh, Moxley's in. Oh boy.
It's good advice.
Uh-oh.
We all have our skeletons, don't we?
Oh boy.
Don't we all?
Jokes outside.
Look, I'll leave it to you to do your neck bridges or whatever it is that Death Riders do, but hey, for real, anytime, call me.
For sure. You can.
Yeah.
Don't give up on that world title, mate.
Yeah. Me too.
That's interesting. That is very interesting. That was a good, interesting segment. Loved it. Alright, now we got Kevin Knight, which I'm going to get to in a minute. Alright, so let's get to that. Alright, so after that, Jericho puts himself through a table. Pays homage to Sabu! And that's that. Then, the main event of Double or Nothing for the AEW World title. Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker against... Hi guys, it's me, Darby Allin! I just want you to know, I jumped off a scaffold for you guys! I love you guys, I split my head wide open for you guys! I live in a car in Seattle, I'm so fucking emo. Go away, Darby. Bastard. So... yeah. Anyway. Alright, so we get the big match intros from Justin Roberts. MJF insists on being introduced from a mansion none of you can afford and not from one of the bullshit boroughs. Hey! Well, fuck Long Island! So it should be Plainview, Max, you fucking idiot. No wonder Alicia 2 wants to divorce you. Just saying. Anyway. This match was insane. Like I said, back and forth they went. We get to the end. Darby climbs up the scaffold. There was a table strategically there during the intros for the match. And he hits the coffin drop, but his head is split wide open. He grabs the Scorpion Deathlock on the inside of the ring. Darby collapsed because of, I guess, lack of, loss of blood. But he's finding out to grab the Scorpion Death Drop. He goes for a coffin drop. That got broken up. And then a super tombstone pile driver by Max into the headlock takeover. 1, 2, 3. We have a new and 3-time AEW World Champion. And that's Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker, MJF in 24 minutes. Epic match. And then after the match, Darby is stretchered out. MJF goes after him. Kevin Knight comes out for the save. Or so we thought, because Darby... he attacks Darby as MJF's like, I don't give a fuck! He's like, and then that's it. And then, Speedball Mike Bailey did a video, way after the pay-per-view. He's like, he is not happy. And now Kevin Knight just came out to talk about why the fuck he did that. So, the TNT Champion's talking right now. I'm not gonna play that, but it is what it is. So, Double or Nothing was just epic. And I gave it 8.5 out of 9 out of 10 stars. If it wasn't for that garbage women's title match, I would have gave this 10 out of 10. Amazing. I think this is pay-per-view of the year so far. Next, well, I think it's pretty up there. Number 2 with Wrestle Kingdom, right there. But not as great as Wrestle Kingdom was. I think it's like on the same level basically. So we got all that. All right, guys, I'm gonna go watch Dynamite and Collision. I'll be back way later after Collision's over. I'm going to do my NXT review. We'll talk about Raw tomorrow. We'll talk about AEW, hopefully tomorrow as well. And then probably be it, because I will be not around tomorrow. I'll be out. I have to do some errands and some other stuff. So, we'll talk about TNA and Ring of Honor. If I can, maybe late tomorrow night. If not, Friday. Get you ready for SmackDown. Actually, no, we're talking about Ring of Honor after SmackDown, because SmackDown's at 2 p.m. if you have a VPN, so there will be spoilers tomorrow on Friday for SmackDown, because I will be doing the SmackDown spoilers on Friday evening or Friday night while SmackDown's on the air, so. Not that I care, it is what it is. And then get ready for the weekend. We got Triple R, Noches de los Grandes. Not doing predictions for that, but I will be doing predictions for Clash in Italy on Saturday, and then we'll do a review late Sunday night. So that's your schedule, hopefully, for this week. So hit that bell for more, and that's all I gotta say about that. But Double or Nothing was just epic. 8.5 out of 10 stars, and that's pretty much it. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys later for your NXT review right here on the Peter Joseph channel. But until next time, peace!